Great. So welcome everybody. I'm just really glad to have you. We've talked about where we're from. I guess it's a real icebreaker when we talk about ice and snow. And as many of you know, I'm Linda Bohr-Johnson, and I'm a certified health coach through both the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and the Institute of Nutritional Endocrinology. And I have studied traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, different herb and healing food systems, movement. I'm currently studying medical astrology, and these are all just ways that I can know more to help you out. And so today we'll be talking about ways to boost your metabolism. So if you're interested in this topic, but you don't know how to get started, this class is for you. As I said, I am going to ask everyone to silence their phones and just commit to being really fully present in this moment. If you don't already have it, have a notebook and pen ready to take notes. And there will be time for Q&A after the presentation. So write your questions down. So get right into it. What is metabolism and why does it matter? Metabolism is a process. It's the way our cells change the food we eat into the energy we need to breathe, move, think, and do everything. It keeps us, as it keeps all living things, alive. Instead of being grateful for metabolism, though, we tend to blame it. So no doubt you've heard someone say, or you may have even said yourself, I can't lose weight, my metabolism must be slow. So while your metabolism might be involved, also consider that factors such as age, gender, and body size cause natural variations in your resting metabolic rate. My cat is trying to scratch me. There we go. So we have a resting metabolic rate and a basal metabolic rate. Your resting metabolic rate is the number of calories or units of energy that you burn just by being alive. But those differences from age, gender, body size, etc., are normal, and they're not usually the root cause of obesity or your inability to lose weight. Some experts use the term basal metabolic rate, or BMR, and resting metabolic rate, or RMR, interchangeably. These two terms are very similar, but there is a slight difference in the definition of BMR and the definition of RMR that's helpful to understand. So the basal metabolic rate, it's a measurement of the number of calories needed to perform your body's most basic or basal functions, like breathing, circulation, and cell production. BMR is most accurately measured in a lab setting under very restrictive conditions. The resting metabolic rate is a measurement of the number of calories that your body burns at rest. So resting metabolic rate is usually measured in the morning before you eat or exercise and after a full night of restful sleep. So as you can see, the definitions of your resting metabolic rate and basal metabolic rate are almost identical. Your resting metabolic rate should be an accurate estimate of your basal metabolic rate. Because the terms are similar, some fitness and weight loss experts use both terms to describe the same thing. But the term resting metabolic rate is more common. So this metabolic process, it's during this complex process of your metabolism, calories in food and beverages are combined with oxygen to release the energy your body needs to function. Even when you're at rest, your body needs energy for all its hidden functions, such as breathing, circulating blood, adjusting hormone levels, and growing and repairing cells. The number of calories your body uses to carry out these basic functions is this basal metabolic rate we are talking about, what you might call metabolism. Several factors determine your individual basal metabolic rate, including your body size and composition. People who are larger or who have more muscle burn more calories, even at rest. Your gender. Men usually have less body fat and more muscle than do women of the same age and weight, which means men burn more calories. Those buggers. Your age. As you get older, the amount of muscle tends to decrease, and fat accounts for more of your weight, slowing down calorie burning. Energy needs for your body's basic functions stay fairly consistent and aren't easily changed. In addition to your basal metabolic rate, two other factors determine how many calories your body burns each day. The food is food processing, also called thermogenesis. Digesting, absorbing, transporting, and storing the food you consume also takes calories. About 10% of the calories from the carbohydrates and protein you eat are used during the digestion and absorption of the food and nutrients. Your physical activity. Physical activity and exercise, such as playing tennis, walking to the store, chasing after the dog or cat, and any other movement, account for the rest of the calories your body burns up each day. Physical activity is by far the most variable of the factors that determine how many calories you burn each day. Scientists call the activity you do all day that isn't deliberate exercise, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. I think that's neat. All right, I'm 40. This activity includes walking from room to room, activities such as gardening, and even fidgeting. So NEAT accounts for about 100 to 800 calories used daily. The real problem involving your metabolism is often consuming too many calories, not eating the right foods for your body, and not getting enough exercise, which leaves you with excess energy that you store as fat. The best ways to lose weight are staying active and eating a healthy diet. These can be a big part of balancing metabolism. Your habits affect your metabolism in important ways. But first, let's learn a little bit more. So as I explained above, your metabolism is described as the overall chemical reactions inside your body that changes your nutrients from food into energy. Proper metabolism also helps your body function normally, such as with breathing, digestion of food, cell repair, etc. All of the metabolic processes require energy to work properly. The minimum amount of this required energy is known as basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Low BMR is frequently described as slow metabolism. So calculating your metabolic rate. If you are looking to reach or maintain a healthy weight, you may find it helpful to calculate your BMR. You can either find the number using a formula designed by scientists, you can get it tested in a lab, or you can use an online calculator. No method is perfectly accurate, but a lab test will probably give you the best estimate. But since lab tests can be costly, Many dieters and exercisers use one of the other two methods to determine basal metabolic rate and or the total number of calories they burn each day. So here we have an equation to calculate your BMR. The Harris-Benedict equation is often used to estimate basal metabolic rate. So since we're all women here, your BMR is 447.593 plus, and then, you know, if you're used to, if you remember math, you do the equations in parentheses first. So you do 9.247 times weight in kilograms plus 3.098 times your height in centimeters. And then you subtract 4.330 times your age in years. So I don't know if any of you are doing that right now, but once you understand your BMR and you get a good estimate of your number, you can use it to help you reach or maintain a healthy weight. First, you can try to increase your basal metabolic rate. Then you can increase the total number of calories you burn each day to help you reach your goal. And maybe at the end, if you figured out your BMR, we can share. So what are some signs of slow metabolism? People can have a slow, fast, or normal metabolism, and many factors can influence the speed of your metabolism. Slow metabolism means that your body cannot properly burn all the calories, which leads to the storage of calories in the form of fat. So the following signs are you have gas, you crave sugar, you keep gaining weight, it's tough to lose weight, you always feel bloated, you have hypothyroidism, you easily develop cellulite, your blood sugar is too high, you wake up throughout the night, your hormones seem out of balance. It's important to have tests done if you think your metabolism might be slow. Your provider can tell if your sugar is too high or if your hormones are out of balance. You might just have a feeling your metabolism is slow because of stubborn weight gain you can't seem to lose. That's because the extra calories that your body has turns into fat. On the positive side, having a slower metabolism might delay the aging process for you. So here's a deeper look at some of the following signs that are an indicator of a slow metabolism. Unexplained weight gain. I know in my case, there isn't explained for my weight gain. That's another story. If you suddenly gain weight, even after taking precautions, such as eating a balanced diet and getting proper exercise, it might be connected to your metabolism. Unexplained sudden weight gain is the most common sign of slow metabolism and is often connected with the lack of thyroid hormone or hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism effectively decreases the BMR of the body due to insufficient thyroid hormone production, resulting in a reduction in the overall metabolic activity of the body. The thyroid glands are extremely important to normal metabolism functions. Fatigue. Fatigue, lack of energy or tiredness is normally associated with a slow metabolism. When the human body is tired more frequently than normal, the body breaks down. The body breaks down the energy-containing molecules at a slower rate, and an adequate amount of energy is not provided to the body. The slower the metabolic rate, the more fatigue one experiences. Some medical ailments, like a reduction in your red blood cell count brought on by iron or vitamin B deficiency, can cause both fatigue and accompanying metabolism slowdown. Slow metabolism means that your cells are not burning calories as quickly as they should, and more calories are being stored as fat. Due to slower metabolism, the body does not supply enough nutrient-dense blood to the rest of the organs, which causes them to start drying out. This can result in hair loss, change in hair texture, lack of luster in the skin, and uneven and brittle nails. The same hormones that aid in keeping your skin and nails healthy are the ones that control your metabolic processes. An imbalance in one can definitely be seen in the other. Dry, itchy, or even oily skin, accompanied by discoloration, paleness, or an increase in acne, are helpful signs in narrowing down potential metabolic deficiencies. Due to slow metabolism, the human body tries to conserve heat, meaning you will not sweat as much, leaving the skin feeling dry and dehydrated. Nails are rough and brittle due to a lack of absorption of nutrients, and hair is deprived of essential micronutrients vital for growth and regeneration. A normal body temperature is essential for the body to carry out its biological and physical activities. Heat is provided to the body by metabolism, but if your body is cold more frequently than normal, it might be because of a slower metabolic rate. A cooler core body temperature has been shown to slow metabolism. In some studies, resulting in up to 130 less calories being expended each day. If your natural body temperature errs on the side of coolness, it could affect your metabolism and, in conjunction with other symptoms, help lead you to find what is going on. An underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism is also associated with slow metabolism, as hypothyroidism causes a decrease in metabolic activity, hence low body temperature. Insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas, which regulates how the body uses and stores glucose and fat. It regulates the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in the body. When the cells in your body don't respond well to insulin, insulin resistance occurs. Insulin resistance causes slow metabolism and stresses the pancreas into producing even more insulin. This phenomenon leads to a constant craving for carbohydrates and sugar-packed products, simply because the cells can't get the necessary glucose they need. Insulin resistance is a vicious cycle. The fact that cells can't get the necessary glucose causes the body to produce more insulin, and it also leads to increased sugar and carbohydrate cravings. In addition to regulating when stored fat is converted into energy, your adrenal glands keep your metabolism functioning properly. If your adrenal glands are out of whack and you find yourself craving sugar to make up for a lack of energy, it may be an indicator that your metabolism is affected as well. So why does the metabolism slow down? A person's metabolism is affected by their genetic profile. However, other factors affecting it are self-induced. The great news is that you can speed up your metabolism if you can identify certain habits or conditions causing it to slow down. Maintaining a stable metabolism is extremely important in weight loss and for your overall health. Some medical conditions and lifestyle habits prominently play a role in slowing down your metabolic rate, leading to many health problems. A few of them are as follows. So as we've been talking about hypothyroidism. When the thyroid gland is not able to generate enough thyroid hormone, it is known as hypothyroidism. Thyroid hormone plays an important role in regulating your body's metabolism and overall energy production. which controls your body temperature, your pulse rate, and effective burning of calories. There is not enough thyroid hormone to fuel up the metabolic pathways in hypothyroidism, hence a decrease in metabolic rate and lack of energy. In fact, all bodily processes, not just your metabolism, slow down. As a result, individuals affected by this condition may experience weight gain, tiredness, cold intolerance, constipation, and decreased heart rate, among other symptoms. Low protein consumption. Protein is an essential component of building muscle, and since increased muscle mass will help to stimulate a faster metabolism, getting adequate protein is an absolute must. Lower than normal consumption of proteins can contribute to a slower metabolism. High protein intake plays a vital role in increasing the rate of calories burned by our body. After digestion, there is an increase in the metabolic rate, known as the thermic effect of food, or TEF. Studies show that the TEF of proteins is significantly higher than that of carbohydrates and fats because it takes longer for your body to burn protein and absorb it. Eating a diet with enough protein for your body increases the metabolism up to 20 to 30% compared to carbohydrates and fat at 5 to 10% and 3% respectively. As a result, lower protein intake, you have a slower metabolism. Also, make sure that your body has the right microorganisms to break down and absorb protein. One thing I want to say here is that everybody's protein needs are different. I myself am a high veggie person with a medium fat and protein. So get to know that for yourself as well. So not eating enough calories can significantly decrease your metabolism rate. When there is a lower calorie intake, your body senses that and significantly lowers the metabolic rate to conserve the food resources in the body. The metabolic adaptation is a response to a weight loss by decreasing the resting metabolic rate. That is the number of calories a person needs to keep critical systems functioning, such as the heart and the lungs. Metabolic adaptation during weight loss can make it harder for people to achieve their goals. In a recent study, they found people with more metabolic adaptation took longer to achieve their weight loss goals. Among other things, they see that the brain interprets a reduction in calories as a danger to the body, a possible sign that a famine has begun. Sleep plays a vital role in maintaining a healthy mind and healthy body. If you are having a cumulative sleep deprivation, it may be affecting your resting metabolic rate. Chronic insomnia can cause a dysregulation of certain hormones, such as cortisol, insulin, and leptin. Insulin is a hormone that tells your body to store fat. Sleep deprivation appears to have a harmful impact on carbohydrate metabolism. When carbohydrates are metabolized properly, your blood sugar levels increase. High blood sugar levels spike insulin levels, signaling your body to store unused energy as fat. A research study examined the effects of leptin, which is a protein involved in appetite control and the sensation of satiety. The study said subjects who participated in the study showed reduced levels of leptin during the period of sleep deprivation and returned toward normal during the period of recovery sleep, suggesting that sleep may play an important role in metabolic regulation and possibly the etiology of obesity and night eating syndrome. Lack of physical activity and leading a sedentary lifestyle are common causes of a slow metabolism. An adequate amount of physical activity helps burn calories. And when there is not enough activity, this process slows down, thereby decreasing the metabolic rate. The absence of daily life activities, such as walking, climbing up the stairs, or standing, also slows down the metabolism. As mentioned previously, these activities are termed non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. Inactivity eventually leads to a slow metabolism. Once you start exercising, your heart rate increases and blood pumps through your muscles. When you are working out, your muscles are burning calories and your metabolism increases. Regular exercise and high intensity interval training can boost your metabolism over the long term. So here are 5 ways to boost your metabolism. Your metabolic rate depends on age, gender, genetics, muscle mass, and physical activity level. As we cannot control or change the genetic makeup of our metabolic system, we can surely boost our metabolism by using the following ways. Eat right and smart for you. You may have heard that certain foods help you burn more calories. Although this is technically true, metabolism boosting foods don't burn as much as you may think. Excuse me. The process of chewing, digesting, and storing food requires your body to burn calories. Scientists call this, as we talked about before, the thermic effect of food, or TEF. It makes up only about 5 to 10% of daily calorie expenditure, so it's important not to overestimate TEF's benefits for weight loss. Foods with protein are more difficult to digest and support the growth of muscle mass, especially if you strength train. Your body also has to work harder to chew and break down fiber. Spicing up your food is another way to slightly boost body temperature to burn more calories. The popular strategy of eating frequently to avoid starvation mode may cause weight gain, especially if you end up eating more than your body needs. Combining protein and fiber-rich foods curbs hunger cravings for hours after eating, which reduces the urge to overeat. Listen to your internal hunger cues to differentiate between true hunger and emotional or mindless eating. Food rich in proteins can also boost your metabolism. As compared to carbohydrates and fats, protein increases the metabolism by 15 to 30%. High protein intake also prevents the reduction in muscle loss by boosting up your metabolism. Muscle loss is commonly associated with dieting. When the body is provided with foods rich in proteins, the metabolic reactions pick up the pace and provide a sufficient amount of energy for the body. As I mentioned before, leading a sedentary life affects your normal biological functions and leads to many health problems. This is because your metabolism is slowed down due to the lack of physical activity and calories are not burned properly. Exercise is arguably the most effective way to change your metabolism. An intense workout program revs up your metabolic engine for hours following a session. Even if you're new to physical activity, there are lots of benefits to gain by working out as a beginner. Resistance training that builds muscle is particularly helpful for long-term metabolism boosting effects. Even beginner level workouts build strength, burn calories, and improve your health. If you are not ready for vigorous exercise, there's no reason to shy away from a more low-key workout program. An increase in your metabolic rate can be observed by making physical activity a part of your daily life. High intensity interval training, or HIIT, can give outbursts of energy as it increases the metabolic rate and burns more fats. Strength training can also help boost your metabolic rate as well as build up your muscle strength. After strength training, the metabolic rate becomes considerably higher and more calories are burned. Start your day by getting a good night's sleep the night before. Sleep that's of adequate duration and higher quality is associated with a greater chance of losing weight successfully. It will ensure that you have plenty of energy for your busy schedule. Disorders associated with sleep deprivation are prevailing rapidly in our society and can lead to many physical and mental problems. One of the major biological systems affected by lack of sleep is metabolism. Sleep deprivation causes dysregulation in the metabolism as the body is forced to obtain food at irregular intervals. Sleep also plays an essential role in glucose metabolism. Studies show that partial sleep deprivation may increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. Cortisol and growth hormones are involved in the regulation of glucose metabolism. After only one night of sleep deprivation, cortisol levels increase and glucose dysregulation occurs. So getting a good night's sleep may improve your metabolic rate significantly. It's clear that stress can change your eating habits, but how? When you're stressed, your body releases stress hormones like adrenaline, the fight or flight hormone, which hypes you up and prepares you for action. Adrenaline alone may temporarily reduce your desire to eat, but when stress becomes chronic, another stress hormone predominates, cortisol. It's cortisol that sends you running to the kitchen to grab a brownie. Cortisol also contributes to another problem related to long-term stress, increased belly fat. When you pump out too much cortisol day after day, more fat gets deposited around your waistline and belly. Producing too much cortisol over a long period of time also leads to a reduction in lean body mass, as well as an increased risk for infection due to suppression of the immune system. Some people produce more cortisol than others in response to stress. It's these people who are more likely to deal with stress by overeating and snacking on the wrong foods. When you're stressed out, you may have difficulty sleeping. In response to lack of sleep, your adrenal glands pump out even more cortisol. This overabundance of cortisol increases the desire to eat and leads to further weight gain. Lack of sleep also affects appetite hormones like leptin and ghrelin, causing you to feel hungrier. To make matters worse, lack of sleep alters glucose metabolism and increases insulin resistance, leading to a greater risk for belly fat and metabolic syndrome. Mindful eating combined with stress reduction techniques help curb stress-related overeating. It's easy to reach for a cookie when you're stressed without really thinking about it. The key is to be conscious you're doing that and do something else, like relax for a few minutes, take deep breaths, meditate, exercise, or take a hot bath. Consider starting a meditation practice. Research shows meditation reduces cortisol levels. Water is considered an essential factor in maintaining and losing weight as it reduces your calorie intake and fills you up more. Water helps to flush toxins out of your system and keeps you hydrated. It also helps regulate your body temperature and digestion. When you're dehydrated, your body has to work harder to digest food, which can slow down your metabolism. Make sure to drink plenty of water every day, especially if you're trying to lose weight. You can also add some lemon juice or cucumber slices to your water for added flavor and nutrients. This will help improve your digestion and keep your metabolism running smoothly. Studies show that water consumption can also speed up your metabolic rate. After drinking 16 ounces of water, the metabolic rate increases by 30% in individuals. You have the power to reverse your slow metabolism. This is great news. You can take action to increase your slow metabolism with many of the action steps already mentioned in this presentation. Remember that these suggestions are lifestyle changes. They are not temporary fixes that get discarded when you reach your goal. In addition to these lifestyle changes, get your thyroid levels tested. It could prove to be enlightening. If you find your thyroid hormones need some help, achieving an ideal hormone balance may seem difficult, but do not be discouraged. There are several ways to help balance thyroid hormones through your diet and lifestyle. To start, when the pituitary gland produces TSH, it signals to the thyroid gland to manufacture T4, which contains iodine molecules. When iodine levels are low, the hormone production is disrupted and the body's cells don't receive the signals to boost metabolism. Luckily, iodine is plentiful in many of the foods that we eat. It is particularly prevalent in seafood, but is also in most whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. Selenium is another mineral that plays a key role in metabolism. Selenium assists the conversion of inactive T4 to active T3 thyroid hormone, and also serves as an antioxidant throughout the body. Brazil nuts and pasture-raised eggs are great dietary sources of selenium. Zinc is also important for helping convert T4 to T3. There have been several studies showing a link between zinc deficiency and a sluggish thyroid. Foods such as chicken, cashews, and oysters are high in zinc. As with anything, the more action you take to change your lifestyle, the better results you will see. Nobody will hand you a magic wand to lose weight or increase your metabolism. Only you hold the power to make these changes. If you're intimidated by making multiple changes at once, focus on one new change until it becomes a strong habit. So, no more excuses. If your biggest obstacle is finding time to exercise, try choosing an activity that the whole family can enjoy. Use your own body weight to do push-ups, crunches, squats, etc. Or wake up before your family to fit in some exercise before everyone's day begins. As the saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way. So I wanted to talk to you about an herb that can help with your metabolism, and that's eleuthero. Eleuthero is known as the king of adaptogens and is the most widely studied adaptogenic plant in the world. It has been used for at least 2,000 years over in Russia and China. It was used by the people in the taiga region of Siberia to improve quality of life and imbue energy so one could perform with higher endurance. Eleuthero was also used to treat infections, and the leaf, which is less commonly used today, was used as a poultice for inflammations. Also important to understand is that traditionally in Chinese medicine, the root bark was the primary part used, predominantly for rheumatic pains, not as an adaptogen, although the adaptogenic qi tonic use of it is now part of Chinese materia medica, which appeared in the 1990s. This plant is most known for its energy-giving adaptogenic-like quality. As you may be aware, herbal adaptogens are likely the most well-known herbal action today in the modern alternative healthcare system. a relatively new addition to the herbal vernacular. This term was coined in 1964 by Russian scientists while studying eleuthero. They noticed that the herb possessed a wide range of medicinal properties that were difficult to categorize using the pre-existing terms of herbal actions. Thus, the word adaptogen was created to define herbs that possess a non-specific action that increases the body's resilience and ability to adapt to stress, whether caused by internal or external factors, such as exercise, diet, lifestyle habits, weather, temperature extremes, or simply the demands of modern life. These herbs are said to have a normalizing influence upon the physiology, thereby helping us experience greater balance in life. Although there are herbalists out there that feel this nebulous definition of adaptogens can be a bit dangerous, as it makes them sound like these amazing cure-alls that are good for everyone and we should all be taking them, it's important to understand that there are numerous adaptogenic herbs, each possessing a unique energetic constellation that is best suited for different constitutions and specific symptomatic patterns. So let's begin with the taste. Eleuthero is a relatively pleasant tasting plant with a predominance of an aromatic sweet quality and undertones of bitterness. I found the taste can really vary. I've had some eleuthero that's quite pungent, others that are more bitter, and still others that are more sweet. I believe these variances are likely due to growing conditions and the percentage of alcohol used to extract it. As a bitter plant, we see it having an influence on the digestive system, which is in accordance with its usage in TCM as a tonic for spleen qi deficiency, which is digestion, assimilation, and absorption. The bitterness is also associated with its ability to lower LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, a process deeply connected to the health of the liver. Hence, the bitterness supports it. This, combined with the pungent property, shows it bringing blood flow to the core and radiating it out to the periphery, strengthening circulation, especially to the nervous system. In some, this can lead to a stimulating action to the nerves, putting people at edge. But because of this property, I think it makes for an incredible driver for nervous system formulas, sending the other remedies deeper into the nervous system. But the key taste here is the sweetness. Traditionally, this taste is associated with the earth and water elements in Ayurveda and is said to be the most deeply nourishing, strengthening, and tonifying taste, building up tissues. We see this property reflected in multiple organ systems, but most notable are the immune system, the nervous system, and the endocrine system. Generally, this taste is most applicable for the dry atrophy tissue state or an excess of vata dosha. As a nerve tonic, eleuthero can support the dry atrophy tissue state through directly nourishing, strengthening, and tonifying the nervous system. This tissue state may be due to sympathetic excess, endocrine burnout, and neurological fatigue, which can affect the thyroid, pituitary, adrenals, and ovaries. Constitutionally, we will typically see this in our vata type constitutions with systemic dryness, thin and cold with nervous stability, exhaustion, and malnutrition. But it is also critical to understand that in excessive doses, this plant can certainly overstimulate someone with this constitutional profile and stimulate rather than tonify the nervous system. Eleuthero also acts as an immune tonic through its ability to nourish the nervous system, especially in the dry atrophy tissue state, and can also be considered an adaptogenic aphrodisiac. In Chinese medicine, eleuthero is considered a qi tonic. These are herbs that work with major organs to increase energy and stamina. Some examples are the lungs that derive energy directly from the air, the heart that is the seat of divine consciousness, the spleen stomach that derives energy from food and drink, and the kidney adrenals that house the root or ancestral energy.
Oh,
Like the nervine property, eleuthero.
yeah, I can hear you. Hello,
Hello?
where are you?
Who's this?
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's see. So eleuthero is an immune tonic in lower to moderate doses, but immunostimulant in higher doses, such as those the original Russian research was based on. Eleuthero also has polysaccharides found in roots that give it immunomodulating capabilities. The polysaccharides have been shown to increase T lymphocyte and NK cell levels in healthy adults. The sweetness found in eleuthero is classic to the polysaccharides found in roots. Other notable immune effects of eleuthero include increasing the body's immune response against cancer. A primary difference between this remedy and the other ginsengs is that it offers the best results when larger doses are taken compared to American and Chinese or Korean ginseng. In traditional Chinese medicine, the outer layer of the root bark was peeled off and used to alleviate arthritic pain. The main root was discarded, which is the part of the plant that is used most today in modern herbalism. Some herbalists say that the rest of or core of the root is inert and is only the root bark specifically that should be utilized for medicine. The leaf is also used, but it is less popular and probably harder to find in commerce. It is said that the leaf is more effective for mental fatigue and brain fog, whereas the root bark is better for building reserves of energy, but using both parts of the plant together is most effective all around. This remedy emerged in popularity during World War II through the development and research conducted by the Soviets to help soldiers in the war. With this in mind, it's important to note that this herb is not a classic tonic herb, especially in traditional Chinese medicine, as its usage had only begun in the 1990s. Despite its modern appearance, it is used in TCM to strengthen spleen qi, which in short is the digestive faculty. One of the primary actions of this plant is that it is a stimulant. This remedy can provide a feeling of energy, both physically and mentally, often increasing blood pressure and heart rate in turn. This effect is especially evident with the intake of strong Russian pharmacopoeia type extractions, which indicate how the remedy can be used successfully in lower doses over the longer term. Most standard products available on the market today that aren't mega concentrated are significantly milder and less likely to cause overstimulation. There are scientific studies that tout this herb for its ability to promote athletic performance, enhance endurance, and increase stamina. However, these studies were not well designed and their results are not trustworthy. Other studies have stated that people who used eleuthero in conjunction with their exercise practices revealed biochemical markers that indicate athletic burnout, which is said to be high levels of cortisol and low levels of testosterone. This is often the result of athletes pushing themselves too far and overreaching their body's natural capacity through overstimulation with adaptogens. Eleuthero, as with most adaptogens, is best used in moderate doses for short periods of time when someone is in a state of fatigue. Herbs like this are used to provide energy, which can lead someone who is already feeling burnt out to push themselves even further and overreach their body's natural capacities. Thus, this herb works well for supporting normal activity and the recovery phase, but should not be used as a quick energy boost, as a means for driving oneself even further into exhaustion. The best way to use adaptogens is to promote the body's restoration and recovery process, not as a means for stimulating oneself and pushing themselves even further. Adaptogenic herbs work best when combined with other therapies, such as adequate sleep, a nourishing diet, and nervine tropho restorative herbs to support real rest and recuperation. So the energetic architecture of Eleuthero is, its ruling planet is Mars. When we look at the morphology of Eleuthero, it has some very distinct Martian signatures, most notable being the spikes that show on the stems. These are very reminiscent of Devil's Club. That's another herb, which is a fellow member of the Araliaceae that grows in the Pacific Northwest. The leaf margins are serrated, coming to a sharp point. It has a strong boundary and a radiant outward expression. So within the body, the Mars signature are as follows. It has an action on the immune system, adrenal glands, warming energetics, stimulating property in higher doses, and efficacy in treating fatigue, which is a deficiency of Mars. The personality type that fits Eleuthero is a bit Martian too. Driven, works hard, burns the candle at both ends, type A, etc. The ruling element is air. We see the air element expressed in the white purple colored inflorescence that radiate up and out like a bubble. Within the body, it has a strong affinity for the nervous system, which it can either stimulate, which is Mars, or it can nourish and strengthen. So that's the salt principle, kapha dosha, and a fixed principle. I also correlate the air element to the hypothalamus aspect of the endocrine system, as it sits up highest in the body, in the brain, and oversees everything, similar to the air element in nature. And its ruling principle is salt. The main signatures for the salt principle, which is a fixed mode, kapha dosha, are that the root is the primary part of the medicine used. The berries and plant itself seem to have a certain density and plumpness to them. But most important here is that this plant is a rebuilding, restoring, strengthening herb, building up the core vitality of the body. This is expressed as the sweet taste, which to me is the most prominent taste of Eleuthero. And remember, sweet in Ayurveda is earth and water, which is also the elemental foundation of the salt principle. It helps rebuild and restore the adrenals, which again is Mars, as well as the nervous system, which is air. And that's a wrap. So I want to thank you for being here. And if you want to contact me, my email address is lynn@feedingyourhealth.com. My website is feedingyourhealth.com. If you're not already a member of my Sage Wisdom Facebook group, you can look that up. And if you haven't already, consider a free 30-minute call to find out if we can work together. And if I'll take a few minutes here to listen. Oh, Carol had to go, sorry. I'll take any questions you might have. And feel free to come on camera now if you want. Are you there?
This is Judy. I'm here.
Okay. I see you here, Judy, and I see Sheila here, but I just wasn't sure if
Yeah.
I lost you.
Well,
I know Carol had to leave.
I have been known to wander away from, like go make a quick bathroom run during a Zoom thing, and somebody asked me a question, and I'm like, I can hear it from the other room, but I can't get there to answer the question. I'm like, oh no.
I know. I hear. I can honestly say I've done that too. So And actually that quick run to the bathroom, that is helping your metabolic process, right?
Sure.
Take it as you can.
Hope
Yeah.
so. That's exactly what I just had to do.
You know, I have that effect on people. When I have a few daughters that when they need to use the bathroom, they'll call me because for some reason I'm a stimulant.
Well, I'll put a positive spin on that. Anytime I have a healing energy or moment, like with massage therapy or even just a good talk or whatever. So, the healer in you is coming through.
There you go. A massage will certainly do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know when I'm working with people sometimes, and I usually try to remind them, I will yawn because I'm moving that energy through.
Yes.
And so I want people to know I'm not bored or
Right.
anything like that. I'm just moving the energy through.
There you go. I'll have to remember that one.
There you go. So I know there was a lot of information here. And if you have any questions now, let me know. And yeah, yes, ma'am.
Well, what do you do with those numbers on the basal metabolic rate?
So let's see if I can find.
Yeah, I always see that formula and it's always kilograms and this number and that number. It looks like somebody would take it and make it easier, put it in pounds because I don't know what my weight is in kilograms.
You just Google it. That's all I did. I just,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just
and they
Googled
have
it.
apps that can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
sure there are.
I did mine and I came out with, a number, but what the heck does 7,190 mean?
Well, so you're trying to find your calories, and this is
Oh.
what your calories are, what your basal metabolic rate is right now. So I had something here.
I wouldn't think it would be that on a daily basis unless she's running marathons.
Well, that's just what it is. It's not saying that's ideal. So then you, let's see.
Oh.
Well, maybe I did something wrong, but I think I double checked it.
Yeah, I didn't write it down because I wasn't handy to do that.
And they do have online ones too, if you want to do it that way. But either way, where did it go? Here it is.
Yeah, I think mine runs a little low in spite of the fact that I'm ever so slightly hyperthyroid.
So a good BMR for a woman is about 1550 calories a day, or what they call kcals. And so, what did you say yours was?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
I'm double checking.
It was 7,000 and something. She
Oh,
said.
I was like,
I just did. I'm like, what does that mean? But what it means is I did it wrong. Hang on a second. Times.
Mm.
Yeah. No, okay. So 447, 593 plus the 591, which is the kilogram thing, plus 3 times 162 in centimeters is my height, which is 503, then minus 4.3 times my age in years, or 65.
Share my screen
That was,
so you can, where did it go? Here it is.
that was 281.
So yeah, 447.593. So I do the ones in
Friends,
parentheses first, PEMDAS.
right?
And so you do 9.247 times your weight in kilograms.
So that's times,
And then 3.098 times your height in centimeters.
hang on a minute. Okay. 9.247 times 63.957, which is 591.41. Okay, so 9.247 times 591.
And then you multiply 3.098 times your height in centimeters.
So that's 5468 plus 447, which was 5912.
And you
And I
subtract,
did 3.098 times 162.56 centimeter, which was 503.61
okay,
centimeter.
subtract
So-
4.330 times your age in years.
And that's 281.45. So 5,912 plus the 503. Okay. 5,912 plus 503.61 is 6415 minus, okay, so there was a just one minus 281.45. Still 6,134. It's still a lot of calories, 6,000.
So
Okay.
maybe you have a slow metabolism, which actually makes sense. What that's saying is you've got a slow metabolism.
You might check that out, but there's a program I Googled and looked at
So yeah,
Okay, yeah, let me do that.
BMRcalculator.org.
that's what I'm on to. I'm on BMIcalc.org. Yep.
Is that an app? Is that
BMRcalculator.org on the
Yeah.
internet.
okay? Just go to that .org.
What's your age?
Me, I've rounded up to 65 since I'm 65 in April.
Okay. And what's your height in feet?
5'4", exactly what's here, and then 141 in weight.
141.
Mhm.
Okay. No pregnancy and lactation result. Calculate.
Is it bmrcalculator.org?
This is BMIcalc, CALC.org. So your BMR is 1263.
And I've got BMRcalculator.org.
Imperial BMR. That's metric.
I don't want to tell you what my numbers are because of my weight. They're up there.
So this is saying that your BMR is 1263,
Okay.
which actually says it's probably a little faster.
Yeah, that makes more sense. A lot. If my BMR is 1263, I got to figure out this math thing that I'm doing because I'm not that bad in math. So I'm obviously doing something wrong here with this
And it might be the
formula.
Well, that was the formula. Let's see.
I need to
That's crazy though. Okay, I'll look that up.
Okay.
But you
touch
just,
the phone and not the iPad.
but I like 1263 way better than 6 or
Yeah,
7.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense. I've always had a pretty fast metabolism, and of course, until I turned 40 and then 50 and now 60.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but still, yeah, I don't.
so
I mean, if I eat the right things, I'm fine.
Well, there's lots of variables like the activity, at least here, it's harder to be active during the winter time. It's also
yeah.
been because my weight has started going up and I'm like, what is going on? It's been really, really cold.
Mhm.
And I know it's actually affected my body temperature. So, that's something to consider.
Right.
Because there's the emotional aspect. Oh, I'm eating too much again, and blah, 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 blah. And so the first thing we tend to do, not everybody, is we kind of beat ourselves up. And the intent of this presentation was to empower you with knowledge of the things that may be going on. There are genetics involved as well. So, you take everything and you look at it and you make choices based on that.
Mhm.
Because it's not just about looking good or fitting in your skinny jeans. I don't even own a pair of skinny jeans, but it's it also is something to look at in relation to your health. So we've got blood sugar, we've got thyroid, we've got digestive things going on. So it's not just a vanity thing. There's a real health aspect to this.
Yeah.
Understanding.
So is 1263 the recommended calories for me, or that's just like
They're
my
really
body is saying, my body weight and height and age is saying that?
this is what it is right now. There is no, this is what it should be.
Okay.
It is saying the average for women is 1550.
Oh, okay.
So yours is a little faster compared to that. But, if you have blood sugar issues or thyroid issues, you kind of want to keep up with that. So it could be something like 4 times a year you check in with yourself. So, maybe every, solstice or equinox, have that be what you do.
Mhm.
Check
But
with-
does it matter? Do calories matter as much as other factors you might know about your
You do
metabolic
need to make
health?
sure you're eating enough calories.
Oh, the point is eat enough of them.
Nutrient dense calories. Protein, knowing your protein status is really good. And when you get your biome results back, it will tell you that. So for
Okay.
me, eating veggies is the biggest thing, and then protein and fat. So I'm not a high protein person. I'd say I'm a moderate protein person. But making sure you eat enough protein for your body is important, because that's going to boost your metabolism, and that also has a play in your muscle mass. And again, as we get older, we lose some muscle mass, which contributes to our slow metabolism, which contributes to blood sugar issues, constipation, thyroid issues, all of that stuff.
Right.
So, but you need to make sure you're eating enough. That's the one concern I have with people who do a lot of intermittent fasting, is that they are eating enough during their feed window, as they call it.
Right.
I know I'm not worried about me because I have more of a slow or sluggish metabolism. I'm a kapha dosha, and that's very common. So, and as a Piscean woman, that's also very common.
Right.
Those are just things to be aware of. So as you make choices, you understand more about why you're doing this. If that makes any sense at all.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be talking to you after I get all that testing back. So we can run the updated numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any of those other recipes and things I've sent helped?
So I've been, doing the celery juice. It's like more like the daily schedule type of things.
Right.
Yeah, we left the Y and went to the local university fitness center because I'm an alum. And last,
Oh, have you met Judy before?
huh?
So Sheila, Judy, Sheila and Barbara Dunn are very good friends, and they live in this town. Judy is also from that Middle Tennessee area originally. She lives in California.
You live in Cookeville?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just up from Tennessee
cool.
Tech.
Yeah. Oh, Barbara and I kind of bonded when I told her my sister lived in Cookeville also.
Oh, okay. Who's your sister?
Judy Gunter.
Okay. You and your sister are named Judy?
We're both, we have the same birth mother. We were both adopted out.
Oh,
And,
wow.
My adopted mom gave me the name Judy. Our birth mom gave her the name Judy.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're both not just Judy, we're both Judy Lynn.
Wow.
Spelled the same way. But do you know her husband Bob? And
did you say it was Gunther?
Gunter.
Gunter?
Yeah.
I don't think I do, but it's for some reason it sounds familiar. What do they do?
Well, she's pretty much housewife. He runs a radiology type of place, though I think his daughter
Premier, is it Premier Imaging?
I couldn't tell you, probably.
Okay.
I think his daughter Grace is getting really involved there in working with them too.
Is that her?
Yep, looks like it.
Okay, cool. All right. She went to Tech also.
Yep.
And we have 8 mutual friends.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's how Barbara and I got started talking, but we've kept on.
Right. That's cool. My daughter is now Jones.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting about your sister. That's cool.
Yeah, that was just the funniest thing. It's like, you should write a book. Well, yeah, maybe. That's the only real crazy thing about it. Other than that, it's pretty normal, I guess.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
And we have a brother as well. He's full sibling with Judy. I'm only half. I have a different father.
Mm-hmm.
But I have pictures from when we first met, and we looked like 3 peas in a pod. And
So neat.
you wouldn't believe that's such an amazing, powerful thing when you've never had that.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I got to know Barbara.
That's cool.
Yeah, it just suddenly dawned on me. Oh, wait, you guys have something in common here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, it's getting to be toward my downtime, so I can actually get some sleep, so I can get up really early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after 8 for you guys in Central.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, as you review any of this, if you have any questions, let me know. And all right.
Well, I did want to say that
Eleuthero?
Yeah, is
Yeah.
inside of the 4 sigmatic adaptogens that which I put into my one of the many things I put into my bulletproof coffee
Right.
every day.
And like I said, well, see, that's the thing. People tend to use these things every day, and they're really not intended for everyday use.
Adaptogens. Well, I don't know how many. Like this particular one is 175 milligrams. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I need.
It's a safe usage, but you should know what you're doing and you should pay attention, because it tends to be a stimulant. So, you know, if you find that it's keeping you up or that you're, you know, you feel stimulated, like anxious or something, then back down. But again, these are basically medicines. And so it is not meant to be something to use every day. It's not meant, I know that they promote them as things to give you energy and mental boosts and everything.
This one's about balance. It says the blend, the adaptogen mix on this one is about balance. And it's tiny, it's really a pretty tiny can. And I got 2 of them from Thrive Market, and I haven't finished the first one. And it turns out I don't put it in every day, but sometimes it's just because.
But yeah, just, okay, do the sway test to see if you need it.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're good.
Yeah.
If your body is telling you you need it, but there may come a time when it goes, okay, we've been nurtured enough with this. We don't need it right now.
That's what happened. I took a break. and then I used it again this morning. But when you said it was an adaptogen, I ran to my
I know what that
coffee
is.
area and grabbed that real quick so I could mention it.
What else is in it?
Reishi,
Mm-hmm.
chaga extract, tulsi, which
Yeah.
I actually take Queen Tulsi, which is a supplement a friend of mine actually worked with a team of scientists to create. And it's Tulsi is in this, but that L-euthero is not in Queen Tulsi, the supplement. I checked that too. So Tulsi and Tulsi is the ashwagandha root. So it's interesting because this is Tulsi extract
Yes.
leaf and then or
Tulsi is holy
ashwagandha extract root.
Right.
Um,
So
And then
Tulsi is holy basil. Tulsi is very good for the brain.
good.
It nurtures the brain, the cerebellum, the cerebrum area.
And then 2 more is AMIA extract, and then Shisandra.
Zonderberry. What was the other one? AM what?
AMIA.
Oh, I think it's amla.
Okay.
AMLA. Yeah, amla
AM.
is part of triphala. So that's good for blood sugar
Okay.
digestion.
AMLA. Okay, sorry. It's probably isn't else. It's very tiny.
Yeah.
Writing. Okay.
A lot of those are new to me. Certainly Eleuthera was.
Eleuthero, yeah. Eleuthero is considered Siberian ginseng, but it's not a true ginseng because it's not a panax like American, Korean, and Chinese ginsengs. Those are panax ones, but it's because of its brain action, it's considered a ginseng.
Well, learn something new every day.
Mhm.
I try. In these presentations, I try that I put in something that I don't have in the guide, which in this case is about plants and something that you can use there. And I like to let people know not just about that part of the plant, but also that energetic quality, like its ruling planet is Mars, that type of thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I loved your email today. I felt like you wrote it just to me.
Well, it's interesting. People pop out to me as I'm doing it, and I don't even know everybody on my mailing list.
Yeah.
It just means we're all connected, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, and that energy that other people suck the life out of you, that you're used, it's interesting to see where you find your power again so that you don't even attract that in your life anymore. or
Well,
that.
it's hard when it's a relative, like a very
Oh,
close, immediate family relative.
that's true.
And so the idea is that you ground yourself, and some of these herbs can be helpful in that capacity, so that you have those boundaries, you know, kind of a this is me, that is you thing.
Yes.
And that's also too a part of your metabolism, because that's managing that stress.
Right.
Well,
Sorry, they're yelling in the house.
That's okay. At first I was like, oh wait, nope, it's not mine.
No, they're just talking up and downstairs. There's the emergency heat has turned on upstairs, and they're concerned that it shouldn't be there, and they're asking Dad about it. So he'll direct them. It's not an emergency. It's just, you know.
It's
Anyway,
real life, right?
I love Southern California. It's supposed to be 85 here tomorrow.
no heat needed, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
But then it's supposed to go down the rest of the week and be down in the mid 60s by the end of the
Oh.
week.
Oh, that's so cold.
Oh, it's supposed to be getting snow towards the end of the week.
Oh my.
I hope we're not. I don't even know. I haven't gotten that far. I'm going to enjoy the 60s while I've got them.
Yeah, I was enjoying the 40s.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
that helped also to get into the 40s yesterday from the bitter cold below freezing the day before.
Oh, it has been. Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you. It's nice to meet you, Judy, and thank you for your time, Lynn.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And yep.
All right. Well,
keep
stay
online.
warm, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your week.
You too.
Yeah, you too.
All righty. Bye.